Hi and welcome to Level Up Cartooning. Today we're going to draw Eugene H. Krabs, otherwise known as Mr. Krabs, proprietor of the Krusty Krab and holder of the secret Krabby Patty formula. If you stick around till the end, I'll point out one of the strangest design elements of Mr. Krabs, something I don't think I've ever seen in any other cartoon character, at least none that I can remember. Anyways, all you need to follow along with me is a pencil and paper. It doesn't get any easier than that, right? Before we get started, make sure you hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button as it helps this channel to grow, and hit the bell so you never miss a lesson. Okay, so let's draw Mr. Krabs. We're going to draw Mr. Krabs step by step, giving you the secret formula to be able to draw him again and again. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I use the character's head to figure out how big the entire character is. Mr. Krabs is going to be the first of several characters we're going to draw, whose face, head, and body are all sort of part of the same shape, except for his eyes, of course. Speaking of which, and strangely enough, we're actually going to use Mr. Krabs' eyes to help figure out how tall the entire character is. If he's standing up straight, the length of his eyes is the same as the length of the top of the body to the widest part of his body. Without him having a normal, separate head, it's little clues like this that helps us to get Mr. Krabs' proportions right. Alright, so let's start with that roadmap for Mr. Krabs. So there's our roadmap for Mr. Krabs. Now we're on to step 2. In this step, we do what I call roughing out the features. I want to remind you that until the third and final step, you want to draw as light as possible. You'll see that I use guidelines to help me to know where to put Mr. Krabs' nose, mouth, and some of the other things. We don't want those guidelines in the final drawing, so you want to draw them light enough to be able to erase them easily. So let's rough out Mr. Krabs' features. Okay, so there are the roughed out features for Mr. Krabs. So now with the roadmap done and the features roughed out, it's time for the final step. In step 3, we get to have fun. We get to draw in the final details of Mr. Krabs. We don't have to guess where to put things because we've already done all the hard work to figure that out. In this step, it's okay to draw darker, but don't press too hard or mindlessly retrace over the lines you've already drawn. Always draw with an eye on tweaking and improving until the very end. So let's draw in the details for Eugene H. Krabs. Alrighty, there you have it, Mr. Krabs. So how do you think you did? Understand, if you've never drawn Mr. Krabs before, then you cannot expect to have drawn him perfectly. You'll notice I don't spend time coloring him during this video because I want my lesson to focus solely on the drawing process. Now you have the secret formula, the process for drawing Mr. Krabs. With that, you can draw him again and again, and by all means color him when you're done. I promise each time you draw him, it will be a little better and a little easier. I also promise the more you work with me, the better you're going to get at all of your cartoon characters. For those of you who want to go a little deeper, click on the link below for my free 4-part drawing series, where I spend more time explaining the details and the thinking behind each step in what I call the level up cartooning process. So as I said at the beginning of this video, Mr. Krabs has a feature that I can't remember ever seeing in any other cartoon character. His eyelids are not attached to his face or his head. They sort of roll down after appearing out of nowhere, then they roll back up and disappear. They kind of remind me of golf club head covers. Anyways, just another reason I love cartoons. So now I'd love to see your drawing of Mr. Krabs. If you can, take a picture and post it on either Facebook or Instagram, and don't forget to include the hashtag #LevelUpCartooning. I hope you had fun with this one. Remember to subscribe, and thanks for joining me. Until next time, keep drawing, my friends.